Welcome dear students and Jai Swaminarayan. In the previous lecture, we were discussed about Ohm's law, right? And what is the resistance of the conductor? What is the unit of the resistance of the conductor? So what is the Ohm's law? According to the Ohm's law, Ohm states that the electric current passing through the conductor is directly proportional to the electric potential applied at the two ends of the conductor. As we increasing the electric potential at the two end of the conductor, the electric current passing through the conductor is increases, right? So from that, Ohm states that the ratio of electric potential to the electric current is always constant, and this constant is known as the resistance of the conductor. So what is the unit of the resistance? The unit of the resistance is ohms. From the name of the scientist Simon Ohm, the unit of the resistance is considered as a ohm. So in this lecture, right, we understand about what are the different factors affecting the resistance of the conductor, how the resistance of the conductor depends on which parameter, which dimension. So let's start one activity. Performing the activity, we know that what are the different factors affecting the resistance of the conductor. So we start with the one activity, activity number 12.3 given in your textbooks, showing that how the resistance of the conductor depends on their dimension. So as per the activity, consider a complete and electric circuit consisting of a cell, emitter, and the nichrome wire of the different length. So we take a one electric cell. Instead of one electric cell, we can take a more than one electric cell if we require a more potential difference. Then from this electric cell we connect the ammeter. The ammeter shows the electric current passing through the conductor, and from this electric current we justify our answer how the resistance of the conductor is depends. This ammeter is connected to the switch which used to control the electric current passing through the conductor, and in this gap we connect a nichrome wire or any other material wire having a different dimension. The nichrome wire having a different length, different diameter. We take a number 1 is state the nichrome wire of a length L. Number 2, the length of the wire is double, right? Nichrome wire of the length is increased. Number 3 is the we take a thicker wire, right? Conducting wire, we take a thicker conducting wire, and number 4 we take a thinner conducting wire, right? So as per this circuit, we connect all the electric component, and first we place a in this gap first we place a nichrome wire of the length L. So connect the circuit as shown in this diagram, right? Now plug the key, not the electric current in the ammeter, right? So connect the plug key and connect connect the plug and note down the electric current passing through the nichrome wire, right? The electric current passing through the conductor is shown in the ammeter reading. So note down the ammeter reading. Now replace the nichrome wire by another nichrome wire of the same thickness but the twice the length, right? If we increase the length of the wire, what will be the ammeter reading? And note down the ammeter reading. So as here the length of the nichrome wire is increases twice, double, right? We made a length of the nichrome wire having the same material we used previously, but the length of this wire is increases, and note down the ammeter reading. The current passing through this conductor is decreases. The current passing through the nichrome wire is a half. So as the length of the nichrome wire is double, the current passing through the conductor is a half, and from that we can state that the resistance of the conductor is increases, so the current is decreases. So as we increase the length of the conductor, the resistance of the conductor is increases, so that the electric current passing through the conductor is decreases. Now take the another wire, third, right, having a thicker, right. Now replace the wire by a thicker nichrome wire of the same length marked as a 3. A thicker wire has a larger cross section area. Its diameter is a large, right. And again note down the current through the circuit. So as we take a thicker nichrome wire, it has a very large cross section area, right. The current passing through the circuit is increases, so that we can say that the resistance of the thicker wire is a smaller than the resistance of the thinner wire. So as the resistance of the thicker nichrome wire is smaller, the electric current passing through the circuit is a increases, right. So we can say that the thicker wire has a smaller resistor compared to the thinner wire. So from this observation, we can state that the resistance of the conductor is inversely proportional to the cross section area of the conductor, right. As the cross section area of the conductor is increases, the resistance of the conductor is decreases, and so that the electric current passing through the conductor is increases. So now take a copper conductor instead of the nichrome wire. First number we take a nichrome wire. In the fourth number we take a copper wire of the same length and the same cross section area, right, that we will take in a nichrome wire. So instead of taking a nichrome wire, connect a copper wire in the circuit. Let the wire be the same length and the same area of the cross section as that of the nichrome wire, and then note the value of the electric current passing through the nichrome copper wire. So we observe that in this case also the electric current passing through the copper wire and the nichrome wire is a different. So you can state that the electric resistance of the conductor depends on the type of the conductor. So what we do in this activity? In this activity we take a first nichrome wire and connect between this gap and measure the electric current. And second portion, second case, take a nichrome wire having the same thickness but double the length and connect the in this gap and measure the electric current passing through the circuit. Third, take a nichrome wire having the same length but larger cross section area and measure the electric current passing through it. And fourth case, take a copper wire instead of nichrome wire, take a copper wire having the same length and note down the electric current passing through it. So note down all the electric current passing through the circuit in all the case. Is the electric current passing through the circuit is same in all the case or different in all the case? Obviously the electric current passing through the circuit in all the different case is a different. Why? Because the electric current passing through the circuit depends on the resistance of the conductor. So as in the all the case the resistance of the conductor is different. So in the first and second case, when we increase the length of the conductor, the resistance of the conductor is increases, right. And so that the electric current passing through the conductor is decreases. So does the current depends on the length of the conductor? Yes, the current depends on the length of the conductor, right. We can say that the resistance depends on the length of the conductor. So as the length of the conductor is increases, the resistance of the conductor is increases, and so that the electric current passing through the conductor is decreases. Second observation from first and third observation, right, as we take a thicker wire, right, as the current depends on the area of cross section of the wire, yes, the current depends on the area of cross section of the wire. As we take a larger cross section area, the resistance of the cross section area is decreases, right? As the cross section area of the conductor is increases, the resistance of the conductor is decreases, and as the result of this, electric current passing through the conductor is increases. So from these two observations we can state that the electric current passing through the conductor as well as the resistance of the conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor and inversely proportional to the cross section area of the conductor. And from first observation and fourth reading, from first observation and fourth observation we can state that the resistance of the conductor is depends on the type of the material. For the different type of the material, the resistance of the conductor is a different. So from this activity we can conclude that the resistance of the conductor depends on first type of the material. Different type of the material, the resistance of the conductor is a different. Second one, it depends on the length of the conductor. As the length of the conductor is increases, the resistance of the conductor is increases. Third one, it depends on the cross section area of the conductor. The resistance of the conductor is inversely proportional to the cross section area. So as we increasing the cross section area of the conductor, the resistance of the conductor is decreases. And previously we know that as the resistance of the conductor is increases, the electric current passing through the conductor is decreases, right? And as the resistance of the conductor is decreases, the electric current passing through the conductor is increases. So from this we can state that the resistance of the uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor and inversely proportional to the cross section area of the conductor. So from the above activity we can state that the resistance of the conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. What do you mean by this? As the length of the conductor is increases, the resistance of the conductor is increases and inversely proportional to the cross section area of the conductor. So as the cross section area of the conductor is increases, the resistance is decreases. So for the thicker wire and thinner wire, if we take a one thicker conducting wire and one thinner conducting wire, the thicker conducting wire has a small resistance compared to the thinner conducting wire. So according to this, we consider the resistance R of the conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. So we can write like this: R is proportional to L, and resistance of the conductor is inversely proportional to the cross section area of the conductor. So we can write R proportional to 1 divided by A, inversely proportional, reciprocal of the area, right? So if we combining these two, right, we get that the resistance of the conductor is directly proportional to the length of the area and inversely proportional to the cross section area of the conductor. So if we remove this proportionality, we require a one constant. So we place a one constant, that is a rho, right? The constant is known as the resistivity of the conductor, right? So if we remove this proportionality, we require one constant and we place a constant, that is a rho, and rho is called the resistivity of the conductor. So we get the equation of the resistance of the conductor is rho into L divided by A, where L is the length of the conductor, A is the cross section area of the conductor, and rho is called the resistivity of the conductor. So what is the resistivity of the conductor? The resistivity of the conductor is defined as the resistance offered by the material having a length 1 meter and cross section area 1 meter square. So from the above equation, R is equal to rho L divided by A, if we take a length of the conductor 1 meter and the cross section area of the conductor 1 meter square, the resistance of the conductor is known as the resistivity. So the SI unit of the resistivity is ohm into meter. We can easily derive the SI unit from this equation, but the SI unit of the resistivity is a ohm into meter, right? So you have to remember this. So the SI unit of the resistivity is a ohm into meter. Resistivity is a property of the material. The resistivity of the conductor depends on the type of the material, and it also depends on the some extent, it also depends on the temperature of the material. So resistivity is a characteristic property of the material. It does not depends on the dimension of the material. Only the resistivity of the material depends on the type of the material. Different material having a different resistivity, and some extents it depends on the temperature also. The metals, you know that the metals is a good conductor of the electricity, and alloys also a good conductor of the electricity. So metals and the alloys have a very low resistivity. Metals and alloys have a very low resistivity. Its range is lies in between a 10 raised to minus 8 ohm to the 10 raised to minus 6 ohm into meter. So as the metals and alloys having a very low resistivity, it has a low opposing power of the electric current. So they are the good conductor of the electricity. So metals and alloys are a good conductor of the electricity because of these have a very low resistivity. Instead of this, if we consider a insulator like a rubber, glass, right, that are a bad conductor of electricity, and that are called the insulator. So insulators like a rubber and glass have a resistivity of a very high. It is in the order of the 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 17 ohm into meter, right? So rubber, glass, plastic, which has a very large value of the resistivity, and that's why it is called the insulator. They are a bad conductor of a electricity. So the good conductor of the electricity has a low value of the resistivity, and the bad conductor of the electricity called the insulator having a very large value of the resistivity. Both the resistance and the resistivity of a material varies with the temperature. Resistance and the resistivity of the material depends on the temperature also. So in the textbook, the table is given for the electric resistivity of the some material at a 20 degree Celsius. Conductors, alloys and insulator. You know that the conductors, good conductor of electricity having a low value of the resistivity, and compared to the conductor, alloys having a large value of the resistivity. Here you can see, you did not remember these values, it is only for the information. So conductor having a very low value of the resistivity, and from this table we can consider that the silver is a very low value of the resistivity, and it is a good conductor of the electricity. Before silver, the gold is also there, it has a value of resistivity less than the silver. So silver and gold is a good conductor of the electricity. Alloys having a value of resistivity somehow higher than the conductor, and insulator has a resistivity very large compared to the alloys and the conductor. So the alloys and a conductor are a good conductor of the electricity, whereas the insulators like a glass, rubber, ebonite, diamond, paper are a bad conductor of the electricity. Here the conductor silver, copper, aluminium, tungsten having a less value of the resistivity, so it is a good conductor of the electricity. So dear students, we can easily calculate the resistance of the any conductor having a length L and the cross section area A. If you know the length of the conductor and the cross section area, we can find from the diameter of the conductor. From the diameter we can find the radius of the conductor, and from that we can calculate the cross section area of the conductor. So if you know the length of the conductor and the radius of the conductor or the cross section area of the conductor, the value of the resistance we can easily find. The resistivity of the conductor of the material is given in this table. We can take the aluminum conductor of a length 5 meter, right, cross section area of a 2 meter square. Resistivity we can take from this value, and you can easily calculate the resistance of the conductor, right. So now we will see how we can calculate the resistance of the metallic conductor. If the length of the conductor is given to you, radius of the conductor, or we can say the diameter of the conductor is given to you, and resistivity we can take from this table, right. How we can calculate the resistance of the metallic conductor having a specific length and the specific area, we can calculate with the help of the one example. So see the example here given. So read the sentence of the example. If the length of the metal wire, if the length of the metal wire is a 2 meter, given that the length of the metal wire is a 2 meter and a diameter of the 4 millimeter. So from this diameter we can calculate the area of the cross section area of the metallic wire. Then calculate the resistance of the metallic wire. Take the resistivity of metal wire is 10 into 10 raised to minus ohm into meter, taking from a previous table, right. So in this example, the length of the metallic wire is a 2 meter. So given for a data, we take a length of the metallic wire is a 2 meter. L is equal to 2 meter. Another data is a diameter of a 4 millimeter, right. So we take a diameter of the metallic wire is a 4 millimeter, right. From this diameter we can calculate the area or cross section area of the metallic wire. But here 4 millimeter, we must have to convert 4 millimeter into the meter. So 4 millimeter diameter is converted into the meter like this: 4 into 10 raised to power minus 3, 10 raised to power minus 3, right. That means 0.0004 meter. You know 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeter. So from that the diameter is of 4 millimeter is equal to 4 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So we calculate this way. If the diameter is given in the centimeter, we convert the centimeter into the meter, right. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 raised to minus 2 meter. 1 millimeter is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So you can easily convert millimeter, centimeter into the meter. So we must need to convert this unit into the meter, right. Again the resistivity of the metal wire is given to you, right. 10 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm into meter. So first we need to calculate the cross section area of the conductor. So cross section area of the metallic wire is given by the equation A is equal to pi r square, right. Radius is not given, we directly convert radius into the diameter. If we convert the radius from this diameter, radius is equal to diameter divided by 2, and we place a value here instead of r, right. But here we convert the radius into diameter. Radius is equal to diameter by 2. So we put here, we get the equation pi d square by 4. The value of pi we taking a 3.14. Diameter of the metallic conductor we taking a 4 into 10 raised to minus 3 whole square divided by 4. If we calculate this, we get a cross section area of the conductor is a 12.56 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter square. So now the resistance of the metallic wire is given by the equation R is equal to rho L divided by A, right, where rho is the resistivity of the metallic conductor, L is the length of the conductor, and A is the cross section area of the conductor, right. So place the value resistivity of the conductor is 10 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm into meter, right. So we place a value of rho 10 into 10 raised to minus 8. Then the length of the conductor is 2 multiply by 2 and divide by cross section area of the conductor. We had calculated previously 12.56 into 10 raised to minus 6. So we place a cross section area 12.56 into 10 raised to minus 6. If we calculate this value, we get the resistance of the conductor is a 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 2 ohm. Ohm is the unit of the resistance. So this way we can calculate the resistance of the metallic conductor. Now if the resistance of the metallic conductor is given to you, length of the conductor is given to you, and cross section area is given to you, we can easily calculate the resistivity of the metallic conductor. We will see one example to calculate the resistivity of the metallic conductor here. So see the sentence, if the resistance of the metallic wire is given to you 26 ohm, right. So the resistance of the metallic conductor is given to you 26 ohm and the length of the conductor is 2 meter. The length of the conductor is 2 meter and the diameter is a 2 millimeter, right. So length of the conductor is given to you the 2 meter and the diameter is also a 2 meter. Then calculate the resistivity of the metallic conductor. So given the data, the length of the wire is a 2 meter. So instead of this, we place a 2 meter. L is equal to 2 meter. The diameter of the metallic wire is also a 2 meter. So we take a diameter is a 2 meter and the resistance is given to you 26 ohm. So from this diameter we can calculate the cross section area of the metallic wire, like A is equal to pi r square pi d square by 4. So the value of pi is a 3.14. The diameter is a 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 square divided by 4. So calculate the cross section area of the metallic wire. Then from the equation of the resistance of the metallic wire, R is equal to rho L by A. So we modify this equation to calculate the resistivity. Rho is equal to RA divided by A. A is here in a division, so take in the multiplication, and L is in the division. So resistivity of the conductor rho is equal to RA by L. By placing the value of resistance R is a 26 ohm, area of cross section here we calculate, and the length of the conductor is 2 meter, we can easily calculate the resistivity of the metallic wire, right, that is a ohm into meter. The unit of the resistivity is ohm into meter. So this way we can also calculate the resistivity of the metallic conductor. So dear students, this way we can calculate the resistance of the conductor, or we can say the resistivity of the material of the conductor. The resistance of the conductor as well as the resistivity of the conductor, material of the conductor varies with the temperature, that we will see in the higher standard. So thank you all of you.